Hi, it's the M.L.M for the Soul Channel. I do have a new topic for today. Before I begin, I just would like to say, may the words and expressions of my mouth and the thoughts and meditations of my heart find favor and acceptance before you, Hashem. And some people I thank who inspired me. I hope they can inspire you as well. And I will have links below to their sites. They are Rabbi Yossi Mizrahi, Rabbi Eli Mansour, Belon Anava, Rabbi Yuval Ovadia, Rabbi Daniel Asser, Rabbi Michael Skobach, Jews for Judaism, Rabbi David Asher, and Rabbi Aaron Ruvain. So if you've never checked out this channel before, I will have a link below to my first video, which explains what M.L.M for the soul means, what it stands for, what I'm doing. So I just want to say, Shechayanu v'kimanu v'hiyanu lazman hazeh. And why do I say that? Because this, Baruch Hashem, BeEzrat Hashem, is video number 400. So milestone. And may there be many more, BeEzrat Hashem, to inspire myself, of course. That's what it's for. And as well as anyone who's watching. So I wanted to make this a special video. I know Pesach is coming up next Motzei Shabbos, BeEzrat Hashem. I just want to make a note that I will not be posting any new videos for the next couple of weeks after this because of Pesach, and then we'll resume BeEzrat Hashem after. So it's going to actually be a two-parter that starts this video and then leads up to that one. So what is this about? So going back, I believe it was last year, I did a book review. I since have done a different book review since then, but for Emunah Vered Murray and her husband Yosef Murray, who are Jews by choice, and this is from their first book that they did, and I will put a link below to the two videos I did of that review. And this is was her first book, From Rose Bowl to Rashi, and then that's a picture of Emunah and Yosef. And sorry if I didn't get close enough, but I can show you that again. Anyway, so Baruch Hashem, she did this wonderful book, and this came out back in 18, and I don't say the other part, and I could explain that in another video, but it's just we don't go by their numbers, so I try not to use the other part. So I just say, like, I use a kind of like the when you use like an apostrophe 18, I try to do it that way, or dash 18 or slash / anyway, so that was the first book, and she said that she didn't plan to have another book, but that she had a lot of people who telling them her stories of how they became. So she decided to do another book, and Baruch Hashem, she sent me a copy of that. Thank you, Emunah Vered, and a signed copy as well. And I decided I'm going to do this as another two-parter. So this is going to be an introduction to the book, not the actual review, but I have a lot I wanted to share with you. And this is the new book. It's called From the Four Corners, Inspiring Stories of Converts to Judaism by Emunah Vered Murray. So that's the beautiful cover. And it's got the tzitzit on it, and that's apropos, the four corners, like the tzitzit, and then that we have people who are coming from all the four corners. So I'll go into that further in when I do the actual review. So this one was published in 20, apostrophe 20. And I received it this year, and I will, like I said, be doing the review, and here's a new picture of Emunah on the back there. And so I wanted to give you a little bit introduction to what I'm going to be talking about here. So that's the book, and I will also have a link to where you can get it on Amazon. So here goes. So Emunah Vered Murray's first book was very inspiring to me, and I'm sure to many others who read it, and hopefully if you haven't, you'll go get it now. It's an amazing book. I know she told me in our conversations by email and phone that she did plan to write 2 other books. I think that was an idea, but I don't know that was really going to happen. So that's my other little side thing. So I did share with her an idea I had for another book, but although she didn't go with it, her second book that is now published and available on Amazon, like I said, I will have a link below, is a great follow-up or sequel to the first one. Emunah springboards to sharing the stories of 21 others besides of her and her husband. Now, it's just a brief overview in this book, whereas in the first book, From Rose Bowl to Rashi, she goes into a lot of, she goes into basically the whole detail, not, 100%, probably would be like as long as the Torah, right? But she gave it very good information about it. Okay. So the stories of those who embarked on their journey to becoming Jews and come from all walks of life and all over the world. The title is from the Four Corners and uses a picture of the tzitzit, which I showed you. I could show you that again. So you can see that. The picture of the tzitzit on there. Okay, where was I? Just have to find the wrong side of the paper. Let's see. Okay, which is a Jewish garment that men wear under the shirt that has 4 corners and 4 fringes. In the Torah, it says that we will be spread to all four corners of the world, so the title is apropos. On a personal note, I am impressed that Emunah has already put out her 2nd book, given all her other work, responsibilities, travels, and family obligations. I may need to consult with her myself on that, as I have some books I'd like to publish, but life seems to always get in the way. Isn't that the truth? So I wonder how Emunah chose the particular people she decided to have in her book. As I know, some she did interviews with, and then some she used already published stories, and then some she shared their stories in their own words. Regardless, it is still a daunting task to put it all together and to have it flow in a certain way, and I know she had help from others to make it happen. I first skimmed through some of the stories before reading it, before I decided that I would read it from cover to cover, beginning to end. That's how I read books. I read everything. I read from the first page. I mean, she wrote a little something for me, but, you know, everything. I basically read every single page, the dedication, the table of contents. I like to read everything, like, really thoroughly, so that's just how I read myself. I am the type to read, like I said, I'm saying here, to read every page, including the acknowledgments, introduction, and glossary. I did see people I have already read about or heard their stories in a video presentation. The first one I ever listened to was the story of Ahuva, formerly Dolores Gray. I believe it was my first cousin, I want to give her credit, Miriam Shira, who shared it with me, but it was quite a while ago, so I could be wrong. Once I heard her amazing story, inspiring story, on transformation from a Baptist to a Jew, I was hungry to find more and searched online and was up sometimes for hours on end till early dawn, listening and riveted and so entranced by each story and how they came to become a Jew. Most were already always seeking for a connection to Hashem and the truth, and thought had it and though had it in their fall. And sorry, I'm reading something a little off here. Apologize. And they thought they had in their false religion the truth. Sorry. And with Hashgacha Pratis, which is divine supervision, divine providence, and Siyata Dishmaya, help from heaven, each one found their way to the Emet, the truth. I get re-inspired each time I read or hear one of these stories, and we all need chizuk, which is encouragement, strength, and to strengthen someone, to continue on our path, especially those who were born into this life and never had to seek it out or learn and study for countless hours and days and months and sometimes even years to be tested in order for the Beit Din, that's the Jewish court, to finally give them approval to become part of Am Yisrael, that's the nation of Israel. I know Emunah is not ready to work on her 3rd book. I'm not trying to push you, Emunah. And I'm not pressuring her, but I actually would like to see a sequel to this current book as a part 2, with more stories, as I know many other people she did not include in this one, who I have read or listened to, such as an Arab Muslim who was an ex-con who became a Jew, the doctor from Mumbai, the former Mexican priest that's now a rabbi, the Hezbollah terrorist who became a rabbi, and so many more others. I like that Emunah shared after each story a blurb on where the person or the people are now, and either a website or contact information. I always like to know, quote, the rest of the story. There are stories in this book of men, women, couples, mother and daughter, and a large family. Each one could write a whole book about, and here you have a concise chapter for each story to get a concentrated dose of dveikus. Each one had, that means like sticking, like connection, and I believe still have to live in a space and place that is real and true for them and for the essence of who they are. Each one of them was on Har Sinai, which is Mount Sinai, with their nation, and although wanted to accept the Torah, but were never given the choice as an individual. So here you can read and experience their yearning to come full circle and finally claim what was rightfully theirs thousands of years ago, but were only a dream and now is reality. I honor them, I commend them. I'm proud of them. The Torah says we have to respect and love the converts. Hashem is now their parent. in a spiritual sense, since they left everything else in their lives behind. And then I included also, unless the person who converted is the parent and then their child also converted as well. So that's basically a little bit of an introduction, because like I said, I did start reading through some of the book, so I got kind of an idea of where it's kind of the direction it's going. So just to give you a feel for it, and then, like I said, BeEzrat Hashem, I will be doing the actual review. This is just an introduction. 2 weeks. There'll be 2-week break, and then after that, after Pesach. So I hope you will definitely, if you want to go get the book already before I do the review, you're welcome to, because it is available. And I look forward to doing that review in the very near future, BeEzrat Hashem. And I want to wish everyone a Chag, Kasher, v'Sameach. And I hope and pray that we will all merit to live and see the coming of Mashiach speedily in our days and rebuilding of our final and everlasting Beit HaMikdash. Amen. And thanks for watching. And here is the cover of the book again for everybody to see.